Welcome to this series of 7 steps to believing in yourself and your potential. So let's take a look at step number 4, which is write down a list of your personal strengths. Is it easy for you to name your strengths or your weaknesses? Many of us focus on our weaknesses, but we really struggle to identify our strengths. If I was to ask you to tell me something you want to improve about yourself, would you probably think of one of your perceived weaknesses rather than improving one of your strengths? You see, knowing your strengths helps to increase your self-awareness. People who understand their strengths have a better grasp of what makes them unique. When you know your strengths and you use them every day, you feel capable, you feel driven, you feel self-assured. You don't compare yourself to others as much because you feel secure in your abilities. So first of all, what are strengths? Strengths are a unique combination of your skills, your talents, your knowledge and your experience. You've got many strengths. Some are obvious, but some aren't. Many of your strengths go underutilised, unappreciated and too often unrewarded. The way to identify them is to pay attention. We sometimes ignore signs of our strengths because we're so invested in improving our weaknesses. Sometimes you have to look at things a little deeper to find your strengths. So unexpected praise for something you didn't put much effort into could be a sign. Or a compliment that's buried within a criticism. If people talk your ear off, you might be a really good listener. If people consistently come to you for advice, you might be a good leader or a good problem solver. Life has a way of showing you your strengths if you pay attention. So try this. Think about one of your best friends or somebody that you admire. And I invite you to write a list of all their personal strengths you believe that they have. Then write a list of what you believe are their perceived weaknesses. Is your list really long and full of amazing words and statements about their strengths? I bet your list of perceived weaknesses only has 1 or 2 things, or maybe nothing at all. Now comes the best bit. I invite you to repeat the same process, but this time write a list of personal strengths and perceived weaknesses you feel that you have. Then see what the results are that you get. Is it completely different where your strengths list is minimal and the weakness list double the length? One great benefit of choosing to write down your strengths is that it allows you to develop that language needed to talk positively about yourself and to yourself. Identifying your strengths and perceived weaknesses also allows you to begin connecting them to specific behaviours and habits. Then you can decide which ones are beneficial and contribute to who you want to be and which ones aren't. So if you want to start believing in yourself and your potential, then I invite you to follow step 4, which is to start creating those lists. Keep them somewhere that you can see them and add to them as often as you can.